Welcome to Espresso Yourself, the podcast where mom life, running life, and teaching life collide.
We're three women juggling lesson plans, long runs, and real life chaos, sharing honest conversations about motherhood, miles, and making a difference in and out of the classroom.
Whether you're listening on a run, in the carpool line, or hiding out with your coffee, you're in the right place.
So lace up.
Tune in.
And let's do life together.
Welcome back to Espresso Yourself. It's been a couple weeks, but it feels like so much longer than a couple weeks. We took a little break last weekend for Mother's Day weekend, and I know that Becky had her show, and I was at baseball tournaments all weekend. And so we've got a lot to recap this week in a short amount of time, since we are recording a little bit later tonight due to busy schedules again. So that's just the way May is in summer. But I know we want to recap on all the things that we talked about beforehand and all the things that have come since. So, Becky, let's start with you. How did Moana go?
So it went so well. I left the last episode with like the decision of Carson like doing Moana or going to his baseball game. And it was like so much back and forth. But what ended up happening was he was only in the first part of the show. So he did his couple of things. He said his lines, he did his dance. And then I like told my husband, I said, this is his dance. You just get up and get to the music room so that you can take him over to the baseball field, because his coach said if you can get there by the time you bat, then like you can play. So he was able to go late. They were the home team, and his coach put him last at bat, and he like left the school in his costume and changed in the car, which is like a 2-minute car ride because we can see our baseball fields from our school. And by the time I had to stay for the rest of the show because I was the tech director, but by the time I got to the baseball game, it was 11-1. They ended up crushing them 17-2 in 3.5 innings, which was great for his team. But I felt so bad for the other team because it's like, that is so defeating. I mean, they came in second, which was cool. And they had a really good time celebrating after. But there was a couple of students from my school that I know that were on that other team. And I was just, I saw them the next day at the play, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry that happened to your team. But Carson's team got first. Who knows if that's ever going to happen again, but it was such a great experience for him this season. And then we got to go back to school the next day and do Moana again. I think that was the busiest week we've ever had ever. And the kids did amazing. I mean, the talent of these third, fourth, and fifth graders is just like absolutely incredible. And I can't believe another year of theater with that. Like, it's over. So now, like, our next show is not going to be until December. But everything worked out, and I really was stressing over it, which I'm not usually a person who stresses over a lot of things, but I was with that because I knew that this meant so much, like both things meant so much to him. But it ended up all working out, and now we've have just like had just a smoother week. We didn't really have any evening commitments, and um both my kids are so tired. So we're just looking forward to getting through to summer and just kind of taking a breath, even though we don't really know how to like relax. Like you get to the point, I'm sure you ladies feel this too, because you both are so incredibly busy with everything going on. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till the break. And then you get the break and you're like, now what do I do? How, how do I relax? I got to fill my time somehow, but I'm supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
I'll probably talk about this in the next couple of weeks, but I'm really sad that the year is going to be over. This year has been so, like a year ago, I was ready to quit teaching. I could not wait to be done. I was, it was just so much pressure with testing and it was not, teaching was not enjoyable at all. And this year, I'm like, my kids have asked me to loop with them. Um, my husband has asked if I wanted to loop with my kids. Um, and I was like, Yeah, I do, but I don't want to go to first grade. I need to stay in kindergarten." But I'm going to miss them. And as crazy as these last days have been with ABC Countdown, it's been so much fun. I just I'm like, "Guys, we can't cry yet. We have to." It's like Abby Lee Miller, "Save your tears for the pillow." Do you guys know Dance Moms? That reference? But no, I'm like, "No, we have to wait until the last day to be sad," but I'm, like, almost dreading it, and it's, like, such a catch-22 because I want summer. Like, I'm so excited for summer and the things that I'm doing and to relax and not really have to think about school, but I'm gonna miss these kids. So, I'm sure you will hear about that in the next couple weeks, and yeah. But that's it for me, that's all the catch up that I have. It's been a good couple of weeks since I've talked to you guys.
Yeah. I agree. I'm feeling like you. I really love the group of kids that I have right now. And even though we did like the switching some this year, I I just am gonna miss the kids that I have, like the family connection like we have built. Like it's just different than the last couple of years have been with me and the kids and just there's such a good, sweet group. And we've just got so many like ongoing jokes between our class, which I've got one. I got a big surprise coming for my class that I'll tell you guys about, but then I'm not going to show the picture because I don't want to. It's one of my students, even though his mom like would probably be okay with it. I just don't want to. But one of my students, in art class, they did like self portraits, and then they were like, it was black and white, and they were tracing them and doing some project. Well, when they brought the pictures back, he cut his head out and he was carrying it around the room. And after run club practice, I was telling his dad, "Oh, you got a new kid coming home with you today." Well, they named him Bob. The class named him Bob. So then Bob became this like joke in our class. And the next day I was like, "Well, where's Bob?" He's like, "Oh, he slept in today or something like that." Well, then his mom was a long-term sub for us. And so she subs in and out of our room. She was subbing one day this week and I went back to my room to get something and all of a sudden I looked down and Bob is sitting outside my table, like out of my room. He like snuck down and put him out. I'm like, oh, of course he would. So then Bob became our greeter. Like the kids could not come in the room in the morning unless they said, "Hi, Bob," or "Good morning, Bob." Like the boys are sitting there guarding the door. And it was a joke with the class. And like the whole class finds him like funny. Well, his mom was subbing that day and I was telling her about Bob and being the greeter. I said it'd be so funny to take his picture and blow it up on a shirt one day, and just like this big old picture of Bob. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you should do it." I was like, "Okay, I'll look into it." So when I got back to the room, I took Bob and went and hit him really quick. And the kids were like, "Where's Bob? Where'd he go?" I was like, "Don't worry, Bob just went on a cruise. He'll be back." They're like, "No, he's gonna get the virus." What? Like, no, Bob. I'm like, "He'll be fine. He'll be fine." Well, then the next day, Oliver must have told one of my students in the morning, like, "Oh, Bob's behind her desk." And so they're like, "We know where Bob is." I'm like, "Guys, Bob came back, but he's in quarantine right now. So we just need to leave him back here." So then that became the joke. And then so that night I finally went down and scanned the picture on the copier. And then I was like, okay, the next day I'm going to give Bob back to him so he isn't suspicious about it. one of my students knows about it because he overheard me talking to the mom, but he's like so pumped about the surprise that he's been hush hush. And so then I mocked up a picture, and I'll send it to you girls. I mocked up a picture of what we were going to have put on the shirts, and his mom was like dying. So she's going to get a shirt. I'm going to have a shirt. She ordered enough iron-ons so that because I have a class set of shirts in my classroom that I've had for a couple years. So I gave him a special job in the preschool and got everybody's sizes. I had them all try shirts on. I was like, yeah, I just thought it would be fun at our cookout next Friday just to have everybody sign these shirts. So my kids have no clue that they're going to have this picture on them. They just think they're going to be wearing these white shirts to sign on Friday. But when in reality, it's going to be a picture of Bob with the sayings. I don't know if you saw the shirt come in.
So cute.
Isn't it?
That's cute.
I'm
I like that.
I wish I
could
could
look good on the white shirt.
Yes, I wish I could show everybody, but I can't. But I'm like, dude, this is a shirt I would wear like anytime. But the kids are going to die. Like, he's going to die when he sees it. And it's his last year at our school, too. So it'll be kind of special. But, yeah. So, like, right before the cookout, I'm going to send him on another mission.
Icon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
I'm going to have, when we come back from lunch, right before the cookout, I'm going to send him on another mission. Show all the kids their shirts, have everybody in the classroom put them on, so then when he comes back to the room, we're all wearing them, and then we'll give him his. So that's the plan.
Oh,
but I'm so excited.
I love that classroom community stuff.
I will be ironing 25 shirts this week. But hey, it'll get done.
That's going to be great.
It will.
That's going to be great.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Like with an iron?
Yes, and it's ironed on. I will be ironing on shirts.
See, but like a regular household iron.
Yes. Yes.
Just be careful with the heat.
Okay.
Because
what do
if
I
it
need
gets
to
too
know?
hot, it's going to melt.
Okay.
Well, see, check if anyone at your school has a shirt press or has like a heat press.
Okay.
If they make shirts.
Like the stamp ones, because I've seen they have them at Hobby Lobby.
Right. Too expensive for you to buy just for this one project, but see if anyone has it, because like it's too heavy, like it's right underneath where I am, but like I have like a shirt press.
Gotcha.
And you need that type of pressure to like make the shirt last.
Really?
Yeah, after washes and stuff like that. So using a regular household iron is hard to control the temperature, and you can't like slide it because it's gonna move. Like the transfer is gonna move.
Maybe I'll just put a Facebook post out too, because sometimes people that I know, like friends of friends or something, have them. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
would
call.
do that, and then doing 20 to 25 shirts isn't a big deal when it takes 12 seconds to do each shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
So ask people first at school or around your area.
Yeah.
And then do that. But I would probably not use a household iron because they just get too hot.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. And I don't want you to have any shirts ruined.
I know.
Bob, so.
I know.
It's too cute. It's too cute.
Bob is too cute. I know. I can't wait.
Yes.
Like, I'm not counting down my days, but also like super excited for it. Because we only have this week and then 2 more days after that. So 7 more wake ups for the kids. Amen. But this will be my first summer of like having my kids like full time, because they were always at the sitter. One of them at least was. So then they would go part time in the summer. They went 2 days a week in the summer, and like I won't have that this year. So it's like, well, I'm not going to have my me days. I told my mom, I'm like, maybe we come up with a 1 day a week that we go to grandma's. But we'll see. We're going to be so packed and busy that it's not going to matter anyways.
Are you traveling this summer at all?
No, just baseball up until the end of June. And then Oliver has a week-long camp in July. So then it'll be busy. But like we ended up going to my mom's today after his game. Because that was the predicament that all the cousins were going over to grandma's to go swimming in the pond, even though the weather is amazing, but the pond is still freezing. But the kids don't care. They were in it already on Tuesday earlier this week. So they're crazy. They could care less that it's freezing cold water. They're just having a blast. So they wanted to go back and go swimming, and I was like, well, the goal is that we win the game and then we play again, and then we won't be able to go to grandma's. But then they ended up losing. It was a close game. It was like 3-3, and then we made an error, and so they ended up scoring, and we couldn't keep them back. But anyway, so then they begged to go to grandma's, and I'm like, I couldn't turn that down because like the weather's nice. It's like that summer itch where they will spend their whole summer at the pond at my mom's house, and that's how we grew up. Like my parents love it
Perfect.
because
Yeah.
we grew up at that pond, like all the cousins, everybody out there. So like, I just wish we lived a little bit closer. It'd be nice, but everything's a half an hour for us when we're in the middle of nowhere. So, how about things for you, Katie? Are you starting to ramp up, slow down?
So this is like my district's last week of school. And so there is a graduation every single night this week, starting tomorrow. Yes. You're like, what the heck? We have that many. And well, it may be Tuesday. I could be wrong. Could be Tuesday, but still, every night this week at our big stadium, which is outdoors. And so it's already like 85, 90 degrees outside. And this week, rain has decided to hit. Every single day is projected. And so all the upper admin are kind of like freaking out of like, okay, what do we do? Like what's our plan? And because everything's outdoors. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Um, but oh, did I tell y'all that? Or no, I didn't because this happened Friday. I met my new superintendent. So they officially named her and they voted her in like last week. So I
Yeah.
think it was last Wednesday she officially got voted in. And as I was leaving to go somewhere, I saw my current superintendent walking her around because my current one's retiring. So I think they're trying to like transition her in. And even the new one's like, yeah, no, you can help me. You can. So it was real brief, but it was nice. I've got to meet her. She's really tall. She's really pretty. But she's nice. So I mean, it was only a few minutes, but I think it'll be good. But yeah, I start training next week. Like I start next Thursday. So when y'all have like your last days of school, I will be like starting training, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I can understand that because I think the first week of June, I have a couple of days of training that I'm going to because I'm getting paid. And, but like, yeah, the district people are doing that. And that's you.
Yes, that's me. And it's
Yeah.
like, I've been looking at my schedule and I'm like, there's something. I only work 4 days out of the week during the summer. So I don't work on Fridays.
Perfect.
But I have something like every day. And I'm rarely going to be in my office. I'm going to be everywhere else but my office. So, I actually ended up buying like a new work bag that's like massive to like keep all the things in because I'm pretty much going to be mobile for like the whole month of June at least. And then July, I'll be in my office for a couple weeks and then I'll be mobile again. So,
I love new work bags.
so it was a little expensive, but it's so nice. It's the Bays bag, the BEIS.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's so nice. It's
A good brand.
sturdy.
Yeah.
It's Mm-hmm. So no, I've
Wow.
been enjoying that. I think this was my first full week to like take it places and use it, and it's been like fantastic. So no, I figured I was like, well, my first summer of just being completely like training and going everywhere, let me get myself a good bag that I can
Yeah.
just stick all the things in and go. It's like a side bag. It's like a tote, but a giant tote. Like my
Yeah.
MacBook is a 16-inch MacBook. And so I had to get a bigger one to have that fit in there. And so I think it's like their large tote or whatever, but it's got tons of pockets, it's got tons of space, like the laptop's
Mm-hmm.
in there, and I could probably stick a ton more stuff. And my big water
Yeah.
bottle, I can stick that in there. I mean, it's a good bag. So
Everything's bigger in Texas.
yes, of course, always. So kind of podcast related, our deputy superintendent, I guess that's his title. Some of our titles have changed over the years and they're kind of funky. And he's upper admin, right? Like he's right underneath the superintendent. Um, he comes in my office the other day. I think it was Thursday. He was like, "Hey, I'm supposed to have this meeting about a podcast. Can you come help me?" And I was like, "Sure." He doesn't know about this, by the way. Like he has no clue we have this podcast. He like all he knows is where I went to college because his daughter went to tech. So like that's the only commonality like we have. And I really like nice guy. I just don't talk to him a lot and he's not like my direct, right? So he's like, "Yeah, can you come help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm really like I know how to do this stuff. Like you have no clue, dude." So I go to his office and I sit in this meeting because somebody wants to have him on a podcast. And it gets towards the end and the guy goes, "Yeah, so Katie, can you help him? I'm going to send you some directions." And I said, "Hold on, pause." I said, "Is the program Riverside?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, how do you know about Riverside?" And I was like, "Well, sir." I was like, and I didn't go into like all of it, but because of this, I have now gotten myself into helping our deputy superintendent on this podcast that he's going to be on. And he's like,
Nice.
"Oh, great. You know all about the program." I said, yeah. And so I'm taking my mic up to work because there's no like equipment. Yes, I'm taking my own mic up to work. We've got cameras up there already, but I am going to be helping him record this podcast in a couple weeks. So
Perfect. That's
and then he starts asking about the podcast, and so I told him a little about him a little bit about y'all. And he's like, "Oh, they're teachers too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What states?" And so he just starts asking me all these questions about y'all. So y'all got talked about this week.
I like that.
But yeah, I was like, what are it was just so odd. I was like, okay. And then I could tell I like shocked the guy who wanted to interview the other gentleman I work with. He was like, "How do you know about this program?" He's like, "Oh, he's like, if you know about it, great. I don't have to send you any directions." He's like, "I'm just going to send you the link." I was like, "Yep, I just send me the link. I know how to log in."
It's awesome. I love
I
that.
know.
It's like worlds crossing over.
Because my boss knows about this. I was telling her about this and she goes, "Oh, you know how to do that." And I was like, yep. Because she knows about y'all and this as well. So it's just funny. Like,
Yeah.
not many people know because I'm not like super open with my upper admin. And not that I like
Yeah.
say anything, I'm just not super open with them about it. But, now I feel like more people are going to find out about us.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Um, yeah. So speaking of like the podcast and like you using that in your work, I was trying to come up with something creative for my kids because we did the book study of Tuck Everlasting and then we wanted to watch the movie. Well, we, of course, have to do a proposal to be able to be okay with the movie and all of that. And in the past, we were just like, oh, yeah, we compare contrast. And my coworker made a paper that was like the kids had to fill it out during the movie, which was fine. But I was like, I want to do something more. And so I like used ChatGPT and I was like, come up with like, so I talked to the class first. Like, I want us to do like a podcast like style with the book. Do you guys want to do like one class podcast or like you guys each have your own? And so then we settled on we would have a podcast channel and then each group would be like an episode. So then I like had it like categories, like this episode is the book versus the movie. This one is like the theme and stuff. And there was questions. Well, when the movie got over that day, like we were not going to have enough time to dig into like recording and doing this, and this. Well, then we ended up having training for our new curriculum. And we decided as a team, like, hey, let's just start unit 1 in these last 2 weeks and practice getting used to teaching it and its review for our kids. So then I was like, oh, well, if we start this, I'm not going to have time to end up doing this podcast with the kids, like this creative project, which was fine. The thought behind it was where it needed to be, but I still had the kids group and get into like as if they were recording a podcast and have these conversations like with these questions. And I was walking around and oh my gosh, these kids, I wish so bad I could have recorded them and put together like this podcast because the conversations they were having were so on point. Like you talk about like a literature circle type of conversation. I'm like, oh, I just wish I had more time. I could have done this with them. So I'm like, next time. But we're have this whole new curriculum, so I don't know how things are going to work out and how much creativity we're going to have for things like that. But I was like, because my other teammates, they were like, no, we're not going to go to that extreme. And I'm like, that's fine. I like, we can try it, and if we fail, we fail. But then we didn't have time, so I was bummed.
That's like the crux of teaching, you know, where the kids are so invested in doing something so academic without realizing that like the impact that they're having on themselves and each other and
Yeah,
you. And it's just like that is exactly like what you want to see happen because it
yeah,
could have been boring. It could have been just, you know, like lackluster, but you made it into something that was really cool. And
yeah,
I think you'll find a way to do that next year. I think you will.
yeah, yeah. It's just getting used to the curriculum and like
But
figuring out like how it flows.
I think it was also really organic. So if it's not like a
Yeah,
podcast thing that you'll do next year, I think you'll find something else that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be equally organic to that group of kids
yeah.
and it's going to be just as exciting, you know?
Mm-hmm. And speaking of next
Yeah.
year, so we were told on Friday who's moving. It's not me, but it's one of our newer. I mean, she's been with us only 2 years. She's moving down, which she gets along really great with that team, and she kind of showed interest that she wanted to move to that team anyways. And she was the one who came from kindergarten, so it doesn't surprise me like wanting to move down to that third grade and have some of that younger. So it's just gonna be hard because it's me and the girl that I've been with since starting, and then the other male teacher who is interviewing this week. Like he's already looking for other positions, so we may have to look for a new teacher anyways with the two of us. But getting somebody fresh and new might not be a bad idea. But our class sizes are going to be large.
Yeah.
3
That's a
sections
lot.
at 20, starting at like 26. Yeah.
Uh, you
Like
need
I'm
a,
used to that in junior high and high school, but elementary, that's large.
yeah. That's just so many bodies.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, our principal sent out like who is going to be teaching what next year.
No.
And I think it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of movement. A lot.
But you're not moving, right?
So we'll see. There's only. No, I'm not. I'm not. I was asked, I think I told you all, I was asked to move to
To
VPK,
go down. Yeah.
which is, yeah. So it's VPK stands for voluntary pre-kindergarten. Um, but then I'd have to take a couple of courses. I'd have to take a couple of tests. I'd have to like relearn everything. And I was not interested in that. But a like another really, really, really talented teacher is moving into that position. And I think she's already certified in that position. So it's great because I think I'm going to put Tyler with her. Um, but only 3 out of the 7 on my team are staying in kindergarten. Yeah, teams got really
Because
shaken up. Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
being moved to a different grade level within your building.
2 are being moved to a different grade level. 1 is leaving to do her full-time master's in SLP, and another one has been a long-term sub since September 2nd. She just hasn't gotten hired, and, right now we are on a hiring freeze, and they're not hiring anyone new. Oh my gosh, it's bad. It's really, really bad. It's really bad. Um, but, um and then and I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting. I like the team that we have. But one of the teachers, he was planning on teaching 4th grade this year, and then, like, they didn't have enough kids for him to go teach at that school, so he came to our school and taught kindergarten. But he's moving to 4th grade next year, and he's gonna partner teach with a person that I taught next door to, for my first 2 years at my school, and that's who I'm putting Carson with, and I'm so, so, so thankful that they are partner teaching together. So win in my book, but and in theirs too. They're excited to teach 4th grade, but um yeah, it's just the list had finally come out and everyone had been talking about it. And,
Oh, I'm
grab a
sure.
bowl of popcorn because there's
Yeah.
there's always so much drama
The whispers in
surrounding
the
all of
wall
that.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like each grade level talking in the hallway right after
Oh,
dismissal.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyhow.
Does she tell people
Yeah.
individually at least before the list goes out? Or is it everybody's just surprised by it?
Mhm. No, she pulled individuals into her office,
Okay.
so
Because
they
that
knew
would
whether they
suck.
wanted to move or not.
Or not,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
No, that would totally suck though to like not know and you just get an email and like, oh, I am moving. Great. And now the rumor, like everybody's going to talk about it. Yeah, that would just suck.
So the rumor mill has already started.
Yeah.
But
Well, and once you
Okay,
tell
so
people,
can I tell
they're
y'all?
going to talk.
So can I tell y'all like this happened years ago to me? Like how we say how like people talk to you before it gets released, or they give you a heads up in enough time. So I'm no longer in this district or like affiliated with this admin whatsoever, so I can tell this story. And I do because it was such a like traumatic experience. So I was finishing up my 2nd year of teaching, and I was like 24 at this point. Yeah, I think I was 24. And the last day of school, it was a half day. And my AP said, "Hey, can you come see me at the end of like when all the kids are gone?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I went down and saw him. He told me that they were pulling me out of teaching full time 8th grade social studies and making me an 8th grade co teacher for social studies. And the person who had been my co teacher for the last 2 years was now going to take my classroom and my classes, and I had to go be his co teacher. And I did not have my SPED certification. I only had my social studies certification, or my generalist, I think, is what I was getting. So it's like reading, math, science, social studies. Um, but you have to have the special SPED certificate to be able to do co teaching or be what am I trying to think?
like a
Writing the
resource teacher. Oh
IEPs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and he did this the literal last day of school. My principal didn't even tell me. He sent the AP to tell me. I was distraught. There was no warning signs whatsoever. Oh, hey, we're moving you. And guess what? The guy who's been your co-teacher the last 2 years, you'll be his. And he's taking your room. And your room will be out in the portables. And that's like It was the worst thing I think a principal could have done to somebody. Like,
Mm.
he did not have the backbone to do it himself, and I will say that. Like, people can get mad at me, but I will still say it to this day. Like, he did not have a backbone to tell me himself. He sent the assistant principal to tell me, and to this day, like, there's been, like, no apology, like, nothing. Um, it was terrible, and so for that whole next year, I had to, like, be his co-teacher and go into the room that used to be mine and, like, let him teach, and then I had to be that extra help. Um,
But how could
and
you teach out of field?
it technically wasn't legal, but they got away with it somehow. I don't know how. Yeah. This was back in 2016. It's about 10 years ago. No,
Yeah.
2017. It was 2017. But yeah, I remember word got around and people were like, "What?" Like, it just felt like the most wrong, icky thing to do to
Yeah.
somebody, and I was so young, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I called everybody I could. I mean, I called my district social studies person, and she was floored. She was like, "He did what?" She's like, "I was given no warning." She's like, "I had no idea." So safe to say, at the end of that year, I left. And, like, he was almost the reason that I left education altogether. Like, it was that bad. But, I mean, there are, like, instances where principals do not give their employees, like, good notice whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's still a principal at that school, shockingly enough, 8 years later.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, as part of our contract, they don't have to tell anyone until the last day of school. And
Mhm.
that sounds like it's just what he
Mhm.
did.
Yep.
My gosh. That's
But, yeah,
crazy.
I don't speak highly of him at all. Like, I'm
Yeah.
very honest about what happened. Like, people ask me and I will tell them. Like,
Yeah.
he did me wrong. And e even in the role I am in now, like, I'm in upper admin, and I was like, "Look, I wasn't a bad teacher," and, funny enough, when I got this role last year, I was like, "I hope he finds out." Like, I hope he finds out that I've, like, moved up, I've made something of myself in another district, like, you didn't have faith in me, but guess what? This other district did, and they've moved me up quite a bit. So, I was gonna be like,
Mhm.
"Look there." But I don't know, like, I haven't spoken to him, I haven't wanted to, um, but, it's education, and they're a neighboring district, so word gets around. I'm sure he
Everyone
knows.
Yeah.
talks. Oh, for
Mhm.
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he knows, and
Wow.
I'm gonna
For
say
sure.
this is no thanks to you whatsoever.
Wow.
Um,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't wish that on anybody, like, I don't want anybody to ever, like, find out their teaching assignment that way, that was horrible.
I think that's what I love about like hearing from other teachers from like not that I love hearing about that story, but just hearing different experiences from other districts and other states. It's just like it's eye opening. And yeah, I just man, but apparently that grass was greener on the other side because you
Yeah.
found your way to a better spot. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Wow.
But it was just kinda sad because it was, my alma mater district
Hmm.
where I graduated from.
Hmm.
So, but, things change, and it's not where I needed to be and grow and thrive, and where I'm
Hmm.
at, I'm super happy,
Yeah.
and I don't plan on going anywhere. Um, but it's unfortunate that, districts and leaders turn out not as great, but you know what? We're humans and not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear about all those graduations coming up this week for your district, Katie. And Alison, I hope you get to get in that podcast with them the last full week of school. And
uh,
we're trucking along with our ABC countdown.
yeah. We're in survival mode right now. Like, I've let my kids, we divided our room, boys, girls. They got to sit where they want. I'm like, we only have, well, at that time, like 15 days. I'm like, we can make it 15 days. We got to make it enjoyable for these kids, or it's not going to be enjoyable for any of us. So, like, small wins. is
Mhm.
is where we're headed right now. And I'm like you, like I'm trying to soak up these last few days as much as possible because I just absolutely adore this group of kids that I have, and I don't know what next year's going to bring, and I'm going to miss these guys.
Well, you guys will hear us next week, and we look forward to not taking a long break for a little while.
Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you like what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher bestie, mom group chat, or training partner, or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Until next time, keep showing up
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
one
One
sip
sip at a
at a time.
time.